She doesn't want to talk to you, Jack. Why don't you buy a vowel? Go home.
I have to talk to her. I can't not talk to her. I love her.
We all make sacrifices, son, and every time we do, we lose a little something in the process. You're unstable, Kenneth, and I'd really like to help you. If you'd let me. You think I'm gonna confess to a murder in a room full of microphones?
I'm John Schneider, and I am really in my heart, I'm a filmmaker. But a lot of people would call me an actor. Actually, I'm not sure a lot of people would call me an actor. But I am. I saw a movie called Yankee, Doodle, Dandy with Jimmy Cagney on the 4th of July back in probably 1967. My folks were visiting some friends in Katona, New York, and I was in the other room watching this movie, and here was this guy singing and dancing and acting and having a wonderful time. And I'd have to say that that was the moment that I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to have as much fun as that guy. And shortly after that, I auditioned for my first play or musical, and really I haven't done anything else. Yeah, so that was it. 7 years old, started at 8, so I wasted about 6 months. Dukes of Hazzard started for me in 1978, and I had done a bunch of theater in New York State, not Broadway, but New York State. My mother worked for IBM, so she was transferred to Atlanta. I'd heard through an agent I had that there was this Dukes of Hazzard audition, and that was 78. So, but what I heard through the actor community was that they were looking for real country people. They didn't want actors. They wanted real country people from 24 years old to 30 years old. Now, at that time, I was 18, and I'm from Mount Kisco, New York. I decided to borrow a friend's pickup truck and get feeling country. And I put on an accent that I'd learned just because I was there. And went in, told him I was 24 years old from Snailville, Georgia, and that I worked on a farm, but I'd been to the Georgia School of High Performance Driving, which doesn't exist. And they bought it. They bought all of that. Really bullshit. You know.
Jill Dodson? Your little Jilly Ray Dodson?
Well, it's just Jill now.
Well, I haven't seen you since you run off to college.
It's been a while.
Hey, Luke, ain't it wonderful what hormones can do?
So I got to go home. Not a hero yet, because nobody knew what the Dukes of Hazzard was. Why is that car orange? I mean, what's up with that? But it was a great experience. I mean, the screen test, and Dennis Quaid was just a kid, and he was auditioning for Dukes, and Lorenzo Lamas was auditioning for Dukes. So it was a really wonderful Hollywood experience, staying in a Fleabag motel and auditioning every day and playing my guitar and holes in my boots, and you know, it was great. I wouldn't change it for anything. Dukes was the show that gave me my first big public break, but honestly, when I was in 9th grade, when I first moved to Atlanta, I auditioned for what you would call, I guess, the senior play, the high school musical. And usually the seniors in choir and glee club get the lead roles, and all the other roles are filled with the underlings. Well, I had a music teacher named Tom King, and I auditioned for Fiddler on the Roof. And I was 16 years old. I was 14 years old. And the right guy for the part. Big boy, today I'm a horse. And he had the nerve to give a 9th grader the lead in Fiddler on the Roof in the high school musical. And I honestly believe to this day that his belief in me and his willingness to really break all of the unwritten rules of high school theater is what then gave me the nerve to later go on and tell people I was 24 from Snellville, Georgia. I mean, I really do. I think that that was my big break. That gave me the confidence that I still carry to this day, that sometimes gets me in trouble, but more times than not, you got to believe you're the right fit for the role. You got to believe you're the only person that can pull this off, whatever it is. And he gave me that. Tom King. Thank you, Mr. King. I still call you Mr. King. We're contemporaries now, but you're still Mr. King to me. After Dukes, did a bunch of movies. A lot of movies for television, several movies for Roger Corman, great B filmmaker. Did a movie with Kirk Douglas called Eddie Macon's Run. Did Broadway. Did Nip Tuck, did Smallville for 10 years, or I did it for 5, and then the last one, so 5 and change, close to 6. Nip Tuck was great fun. Dirty Sexy Money was great fun. Lately, Leverage was great fun. Played a mean, nasty, bad man in Leverage, and I enjoyed that. My wife would say it was more true to type. Said it's funny that the people that consider your best acting is when you did the least acting. Written a lot, directed some, directed on Dukes, directed on Smallville. So quite a few things, a lot of television. Still not up on the big screen yet, so still not happy at all with where I am. I had a screenplay optioned almost a year ago now, and the producers are still trying to finance it. We have a wonderful cast put together, and I do believe that that will change my life. Getting that movie done. It's about hospice. It's a very, very dark, really interesting script about hospice, and I think that will change the industry's perception of, if they even have one anymore, the industry's perception of who or what John Schneider is. I was the entertainment chairman for the March of Dimes, which is a great organization. And I tried to incorporate some of my experience from the wheelchair square dancing to the theater on Christmas and New Year's into the March of Dimes, and they didn't want to do it. So with a group of people, I either had to keep my ideas to myself or start another organization. And I'm never one to keep my ideas to myself. This is that confidence thing I told you about. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, but when it works, it's amazing. So along with a guy named Mick Shannon and another guy named Joe Lake, and then also Marie Osmond, who we had done some stuff with the March of Dimes together, we started the Children's Miracle Network. And it raises money for children's hospitals, which treats children regardless of what they have. March of Dimes is for spina bifida, muscular dystrophy is for muscular dystrophy. Other organizations are very illness specific. Not the Children's Miracle Network. We raise money for sick children, period. 100% of the money raised stays in the area where it's raised. It all goes to the hospital. It all goes to the kids. All of it, every penny. So in 1982, we started that. We're still going. It's 2012 by the time anybody sees this. And we have raised a little bit over $5 billion for children's hospitals.
Every child deserves the hope and healing of a Children's Miracle Network hospital. 170 hospitals helping 17 million kids each year. Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Hospitals helping local kids. For information on how to help, visit childrensmiraclenetwork.org.
Best advice I can give if you want to make it in any industry is do that which you love. don't let anybody talk you into doing something that is not in your heart until your ship comes in. Because a lifetime is a quick thing. A year is quick. 10 years is quick. And one of these days you will have had your last latte and not know it. You'll have hit your last golf ball. You might be 90, you might be 30, you might be 16. But one of these days it's going to be your last bowl of cereal. Okay? So don't ever do anything. I don't mean be lazy. I mean, you got to work. You have to be diligent. You have to be responsible. But don't do something that is in opposition to what you love. Work with your heart, your mind, your soul, your time, your bike, your camera, your recording device, your laptop, your cell phone. Work with everything you've got toward your goal. And don't let somebody who has given up on their goal cause you to give up on yours. Not for a heartbeat. Life is too short.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
I've known Nick now for, a year and a half. Well, maybe 2 years by the time it's all cut together, because I'm kind of wordy. But I truly am. When I first met Nick, I realized he was somebody who was doing what he loves to do. He's pursuing his dream, he's pursuing his goals, and you can't, like a good hunting dog, you can't get him off the scent, and you can't get him off point. And I think those are admirable traits. So John Schneider here saying, please give Nick a good grade on this. He's a great guy, and he's going to go far. I promise you. See ya.
Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood.